All right, we got a little comparison test of the state-of-the-art in electric motorcycles. Got the 2013 Zero S, completely new for this year, new frame, brakes, everything, and bodywork. And over there is the Brammo Empulse. That's the R version, the higher spec version. And there are no more technologically advanced electric vehicles, electric motorcycles on the road today.
Yeah, we've got the two companies that are really trying to make these gas pumps you see behind us obsolete. I mean, that's their whole business, ideal. And this is the first time, I think, Kevin, we can get on camera or in a story and say, wow, we can actually see the future a little clearer now, because both these two, in their own ways, are impressive.
Yeah, we were talking before, there's a pretty clear difference in the philosophies behind these two bikes. Brammo makes an inertia, which is more of a commuter style motorcycle, but they really went for the sport bike with the Empulse. And that thing, we could ride them side by side, that is definitely the sport bike. It's got a 6-speed transmission, whereas the Zero, just a direct drive, single speed transmission. This is very easy to operate. Smooth throttle response, easy for nearly anybody to just get on and toddle around. The Brammo, it demands more involvement from its rider, to appeal more to the sport bike enthusiast. And as such, it's got better brakes, a better suspension, and well, it looks kind of like that arty industrial design sport bike.
Well, yeah, the Zero here has got kind of that, Honda-esque look about it. I mean, it's very clean, it's fit and finished, everything's buttoned up. In not so nice way, you can say it looks a little plasticky, like Honda has been referred to in the past. But to a lot of consumers, I mean, again, very clean, and that's going to be attractive. You've got the more industrial Terminator look here with the Brammo, and that's going to be attractive to some people. I mean, a subjective thing, but like you were saying, the Brammo has gone about producing a electric sport bike.
Yeah.
The Zero, for everything that it's worth, is not a sport bike. You got foot pegs that touch down way earlier than the Brammo does.
Whereas the Zero, you've got an onboard charger that, unless you have an adapter, you're limited to the 110-volt power supply.
Yeah, you've got to do, for this is set up with the 220, boom, you pop at that. Same with like the Chevy Volt, the Nissan Leaf, it's kind of the standardized electric charger. Pop that in right there. Lock your steering column and then go grab a cup of coffee. The Zero, right, you got to carry the 220 converter with you, and otherwise, yeah, you're left with the 110.
It's got a slightly higher battery capacity and goes slightly further than the Brammo, but the quick charge capacity while you're out doing things, the Brammo definitely has an advantage there.
Well, we'll see if you can go farther
on
that one. We're about halfway through. We're going to run these things out of juice and find out where they leave us stranded. End of a long day. We got these two premier electric bikes sitting in the back of our gas-burning pickup truck, but that's for a reason. I mean, we ran these things until they were just flat dead, and we ran them in not the most optimal circumstances. I mean, we drag raced them, top gear roll-ons. We were out in the canyons all day. Basically, you were on the Brammo. How'd it do?
Well, we got 50 miles before the thing ran dead, and then luckily I was on a hill and stuck at neutral and rolled another 1.5 miles or so. You got about 10 or 12 more miles on the Zero, right?
I got, about 62 and a half.
Basically, what we determined is that the Zero makes a better, easier commuter bike. the Brammo is a superior sport bike. The problem with a superior electric sport bike is that if you want to ride them in the canyons like we did, you gotta bring a truck.
Yeah, I have to say I agree more with the philosophy of the Brammo's charging system. They've got the standardized, connector. You can go anywhere the other electric cars would go, top off. The Zero, you got to carry the converter with you. It's only set up with 110 the way it is. So that's one check mark, I think, in the Brammo's book.
Yeah, they're a little more forward thinking in that regard. But in terms of a vehicle you can just jump on and use out of your home, and then once you're back, just plug it into your 110 and let it charge up overnight. The Zero does a pretty good job at that.
And we have to say, there are some technical benefits to the Brammo. Again, your braking system, dual front disc brakes, but $1,000 less starting out of the gate for the Zero. And for the run around town commuter practical purchase, I'm kind of leading towards the Zero on this one.
The Zero makes a pretty good case as an electric commuter. Still, the Brammo, if you want an electric sport bike, that's the bike to be on.
Yeah, if you're just looking for giggles and a good time and you're a sport bike guy and you want to roll the gearbox and go out to the canyons and have fun and smoke some, regular sport bike guys with ice engines, you could probably do it on the Brammo.
And that's another point we forgot to mention earlier, is that electric bikes, some people think of them as a glorified golf cart. No, not with these things. They're fun. You can be smiling and giggling inside your helmet a lot on these things. You can get a really good pace on an electric motorcycle. This isn't just a toy anymore. And if you ever get a chance to ride one, you'll get a giggle too, I bet. So if you want to find out how everything shakes out in full detail, you got to go to Motorcycle.com after you watch this video, or if you're watching the video online right now, go check out some other stuff.